In nomine Patris, et Filii et Spiritus Sanctus.
Hey everyone, welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today, we're diving headfirst into the final trailer for The Conjuring, Last Rites. And if you're even half the horror fan I am, then you probably got goosebumps the moment you saw the name Smurl pop up. Yep, the infamous Smurl haunting is finally getting the full Conjuring treatment. And not just that, it's apparently tying everything back to the very first demon Ed and Lorraine Warren ever encountered. That's a big deal. Now, before we get into all the chilling Easter eggs and wild fan theories, let's just take a moment to appreciate what this movie represents. It's the finale, the end of the main Conjuring timeline, the last case for Ed and Lorraine Warren, and it looks like they're going out with a terrifying bang.
Here, something I've felt before.
So, what's the big deal about the Smurl haunting? If you've never heard of the Smurl haunting before, you're in for a ride. This isn't just another spooky case pulled out of thin air. It's based on a real-life series of events that spanned over 15 years. That's right, 15 years of terror. The Smurl family reported everything from shadowy figures and foul smells to full-on physical attacks in their Pennsylvania duplex. Ed and Lorraine were called in during the mid-80s, but according to this new trailer, the movie's rewriting a bit of history. It suggests that this particular demon wasn't new to the Warrens. In fact, it was the first one they ever faced and ran from. I mean, chills, right?
By the power of our Lord Jesus Christ!
This thing in your house, it's a demon. That line from Lorraine in the trailer hit hard. Vera Farmiga absolutely sells the gravity of that moment. It's not just another haunting, it's personal. And if you follow the Conjuring universe from the beginning, you know Lorraine doesn't get spooked easily. So when she looks terrified, you know something's different. According to her, this demon was the one they were too scared to face in the early days of their career. The trailer makes it clear, this isn't just about the Smurls, it's about the Warrens coming full circle.
This thing in your house is a...
That missed me callback. Annabelle's back, kinda. Now let's talk about that little Annabelle cameo. It's so quick, it's basically subliminal, but it's there, and it's enough to throw fans into a frenzy. Seeing that "missed me" scrawled out in creepy handwriting is pure nightmare fuel, and a straight callback to the early days of the franchise. But here's where it gets spicy. The Annabelle's presence isn't just fan service. Remember, the demon associated with the Annabelle doll, often referred to in later films as Malthus, is believed to be the same one haunting the Smurls in Last Rites. So yeah, this isn't just a shared universe nod. It's the literal same entity pulling the strings.
We were scared. We ran away.
The house looks exactly like the real one. Okay, eagle-eyed fans, you might have noticed something cool. The house in the trailer is almost identical to the actual Smurl family home. That's a nice touch for people who've been obsessed with this case for years. It's subtle, but it shows the filmmakers are really leaning into the realism for this final chapter. The fact that they're using the real names of the Smurl family, Jack, Janet, and their daughters Dawn, Heather, Shannon, and Karen, just adds to that sense of authenticity. It's gonna hit differently knowing these characters are based on real people who went through something absolutely horrifying.
Filii et Spiritus Sanctus. By the power of our Lord.
The public scrutiny angle. Nice touch. There's also a scene in the trailer showing Ed and Lorraine on what looks like a live talk show with lights, an audience, the whole deal. Some fans might miss this, but that's likely based on a real-life interview they did, where they were publicly questioned and, frankly, made to look like they were off their rockers. That kind of media pressure is rarely explored in ghost stories, but it adds depth. Imagine trying to help a family being terrorized by a demon while half the world think you're a fraud. That tension alone is enough to make things boil over.
How to protect you this time.
Let's talk about that demon, Malthus. So here's the kicker. The demon featured in this movie isn't a random new spirit. It's Malthus, aka the same entity tied to the Annabelle doll. Now, in real life, the Smurl case never named the demon, but the Conjuring universe has slowly built this lore around Malthus, showing him as a horned, shadowy, soul-hungry demon who thrives on fear. We even get a glimpse of what might be his physical form in the trailer, a creepy man-like figure that shows up multiple times. If that's our demon, then yeah, I'm officially not sleeping tonight.
Be our safeguard.
against the devil.
Judy Warren's role just got upgraded. Let's shift gears for a second and talk about Judy. Played by Mia Tomlinson this time, Judy is no longer just the quiet kid in the background. She's front and center. And from what we're seeing, she may even be inheriting her parents' clairvoyant abilities. There's a particularly eerie scene in the trailer where an evil version of Judy seems to attack her regular self. At first, I thought it was one of the Smurl daughters experiencing possession, but nope, it's Judy. That means the demon is targeting her directly, and suddenly, this whole thing is way more personal than we expected. Plus, Ben Hardy is in as Tony Spera, Judy's future husband, and their relationship seems to be a key emotional anchor in this movie. We even get Tony's real-life counterpart making a cameo. How cool is that? The classic Conjuring vibes are back. You know those trademarked Conjuring shots? Long hallway tension, flickering lights, sudden demonic appearances? Yeah, they're back in full force. Michael Chavez may not be James Wan, but he clearly understands the visual language of this franchise, and he's leaning into it hard. One standout moment, Lorraine walking through a dimly lit room, only to sense something lurking behind her. Goosebumps. The sound design, the lighting, the pacing, it's everything we love about Conjuring horror.
St. Michael, defend us.
Is that Ed having a heart attack? Yep, there's a brief but shocking moment where Ed seems to clutch his chest and collapse. Now, in real life, Ed Warren had a stroke in 2001 and passed away a few years later. So this scene isn't historically accurate, but it could be the filmmakers paying homage to that real-life moment while turning up the emotional stakes. We've seen Ed's health hinted at in earlier films, so this could be the culmination of that subplot. And honestly, if this really is their final case, it makes sense to show the toll these investigations have taken on them, physically, emotionally, spiritually.
8 people have experienced this. 8 people.
More than just the Smurls. As much as this film is centered on the Smurl case, it's becoming clear that the movie's core is the Warren family. The Smurls are the victims, sure, but the demon has history with Ed, Lorraine, and now Judy. That legacy, that sense of inherited trauma, is the real thread tying this final chapter together. So if you're expecting a straight adaptation of the Smurl haunting, like the 1991 TV movie The Haunted, think again. This isn't just a retelling, it's a franchise finale, and that means a lot of liberties, a lot of lore expansion, and a heavy emotional punch.
By the power of our Lord Jesus Christ!
A few quick-fire observations. That attic scene where the demon writes, "Missed me," feels like a direct Annabelle callback. There's a shot of one of the daughters coughing up what looks like human hair. Total body horror vibes there. There's a moment that looks like a direct homage to the Amityville horror. Family running in the rain, trying to escape the house. Hallucination? Possession? Demon mind games? We'll find out.
It's the first one that we ever encountered.
Our nerdy thoughts. The Conjuring Last Rites looks like it's doing exactly what a franchise finale should do. Raise the emotional stakes, call back to earlier stories, and tie everything together in one final showdown. Bringing back the Smurl haunting, revisiting the Annabelle demon, and putting Judy Warren in the spotlight, that's the kind of endgame energy this series needed. Of course, some fans may not love the dramatization or changes from the real story, but let's be honest, the Conjuring universe was never a documentary. It's horror storytelling at its finest, rooted in truth but built for chills. So what do you think? Are you excited to see how it all ends? Do you think Malthus is the ultimate villain of the entire franchise? And what role do you think Judy will play when things hit the fan? Let's chat in the comments below. And hey, if you caught anything in the trailer that we missed, drop it too. This is the final ride with the Warrens, so let's break it down together. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our full movie breakdown when Last Rites drops this September. Until then, keep the lights on.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.